What if the most powerful man on earth didn't crave power, luxury, or fame, but instead fought a silent war inside his own mind? Marcus Aurelius ruled the greatest empire of his time, commanded vast armies, and controlled unimaginable wealth. Yet he believed that true victory was not over enemies, but over fear, anger, ego, and desire. While other emperors built statues to glorify themselves, Marcus Aurelius wrote private notes reminding himself to stay humble, disciplined, and calm. Those notes would later become Meditations, one of the most powerful books on mental mastery ever written. This is not just the story of a Roman emperor. This is the story of a man who conquered himself and, by doing so, became unstoppable, Rome at its peak, and a boy destined to rule. Marcus Aurelius was born in 121 CE into a wealthy and respected Roman family. Rome at the time was at its height, rich, powerful, and dominant. Unlike most boys of his class, Marcus was quiet, serious, and deeply thoughtful. From an early age, he showed little interest in excess or entertainment. He preferred learning, reflection, and discipline. Roman society rewarded ambition and dominance, yet Marcus was drawn to philosophy. This alone set him apart. While others trained to rule men, Marcus trained to rule his mind. The discovery of Stoicism, a philosophy of inner control, before Marcus Aurelius ruled Rome, he learned how to rule himself. As a young man, Marcus discovered Stoic philosophy, a way of thinking that would define his entire life. Stoicism taught that happiness does not come from wealth, power, or pleasure, but from controlling one's reactions to events. According to Stoics, you cannot control the world, but you can control how you respond to it. This idea became Marcus Aurelius's foundation. He learned that anger weakens the mind, that fear clouds judgment, and that ego destroys clarity. Stoicism taught him one central truth: external success is meaningless without internal discipline. Adopted into power, a reluctant emperor, Marcus Aurelius never sought the throne. He was adopted by Emperor Antoninus Pius, not because he was ruthless or ambitious, but because he was disciplined, intelligent, and morally grounded. In Roman politics, this was rare. When Marcus finally became emperor in 161 CE, he inherited not peace, but crisis. Wars, plagues, political instability, and betrayal followed him almost immediately. The empire was under constant threat. Most rulers would harden their hearts or become tyrants. Marcus did the opposite. He turned inward. War on the front lines and war within while others slept in palaces, Marcus Aurelius wrote philosophy in war tents. Marcus Aurelius spent much of his reign fighting brutal wars on Rome's northern borders. He lived among soldiers, endured harsh conditions, and faced death daily. During these campaigns, he wrote Meditations not as a book for others, but as reminders to himself. These writings reveal a man constantly correcting his own thoughts. He warned himself against pride. He reminded himself that anger solves nothing. He disciplined his mind while leading armies. This is why Marcus Aurelius is unique in history. He did not escape hardship, he used it as training. The core teaching, control your mind or lose everything, Marcus Aurelius believed that most suffering comes not from events, but from how we interpret them. He wrote that if something is outside your control, it should not disturb your peace. This mindset made him resilient under pressure. He faced betrayal without hatred, failure without despair, success without arrogance. In a world of chaos, Marcus Aurelius became calm. Discipline over comfort. Marcus Aurelius could have lived in luxury, but he chose discipline. As emperor, Marcus had access to endless pleasure, yet he lived simply. He avoided excess food, luxury, and entertainment. He believed comfort weakened the mind. He trained himself to endure discomfort so that hardship would never surprise him. This practice made him mentally unbreakable. While others were shaken by difficulty, Marcus was prepared. Modern motivation speaks about grinding. Marcus Aurelius lived it without noise, without ego, without applause. Emotional control, the mark of true power. Marcus Aurelius repeatedly warned himself against anger. He believed anger was a loss of control and a failure of intelligence. In his writings, he reminded himself that people act out of ignorance, not evil. This allowed him to lead with patience instead of rage. He understood that emotional reactions destroy clarity. When you control your emotions, no one can manipulate you. This lesson is timeless. Emotional discipline is the highest form of strength. Death, impermanence, and fearlessness. Marcus Aurelius conquered fear by accepting death. Unlike most rulers, Marcus Aurelius thought constantly about death not morbidly, but realistically. He believed remembering death made life more meaningful. He wrote that fame fades, power disappears, and all men become equal in death. This awareness freed him from fear. When you accept that everything is temporary, you stop clinging to outcomes. You act with courage because you no longer fear loss. Marcus Aurelius ruled without desperation because he understood impermanence, failure, pain, and personal loss. Marcus Aurelius's life was filled with tragedy. He lost multiple children, endured plagues that killed millions. He faced rebellion and betrayal. Yet his writings never show self-pity. Instead, he reminded himself that pain is part of nature, not punishment. He believed resilience was built through acceptance and endurance, not complaint. This mindset allowed him to keep moving forward while others would have broken. The paradox of power: the man who ruled everything believed he controlled almost nothing. Marcus Aurelius believed that the more power you have, the more responsibility you carry. He rejected arrogance. He reminded himself daily that he was just a man, temporary, flawed, and replaceable. This humility made him a rare ruler, firm but fair, strong but reflective, powerful but grounded. True leadership, he believed, begins with self-mastery. Why Marcus Aurelius still matters today in a modern world full of distraction, ego, and noise. Marcus Aurelius offers something rare: clarity. His lessons apply not just to emperors, but to anyone seeking control over their life. He teaches that discipline beats motivation, that calm beats chaos, that self-control beats dominance. Marcus Aurelius proves that inner strength outlasts external success,